The Russian invasion of America. How tumbleweeds took over the USA. Tumbleweeds, those iconic symbols of the vast and desolate landscapes of the Old West, have a much more complex and impactful story than their cinematic appearances suggest. Beyond being mere movie props, they are central characters in one of the swiftest plant invasions ever witnessed in the United States. In the realm of westerns, tumbleweeds roll alongside Stetson-wearing cowboys, creating a picturesque backdrop to the unfolding scenes. However, the reality is far more intricate. The tumbleweed's true identity lies in the Russian thistle, scientifically known as Salsola tragus. Despite being called a thistle, it belongs to the Amaranth family, challenging its misleading nomenclature. This unassuming plant, native to dry regions in Europe and Central Asia, made its clandestine debut in North America during the 1870s. Its arrival in Bonahome County, South Dakota, went largely unnoticed until farmers recognized its presence. The Russian thistle, a master at colonizing disturbed soil, found an ideal habitat in the plowed lands of the Great Plains. As pioneers cleared prairie lands for agriculture, they unwittingly paved the way for the invasive tumbleweed. What began as a soft seedling eventually transformed to a stiff and spiny plant, deterring grazing animals but causing harm to farmers and livestock. In some regions, the infestation became so severe that plowing became impractical, resulting in significant crop losses. The spread of the Russian thistle across North America was not merely a consequence of nature, but a product of human activities. Introduced through flaxseed shipments from the Russian Empire, it exploited loose soil created by agricultural practices. The advent of the threshing machines inadvertently aided its dispersal, as the seeds resembled other cereal grains and were difficult to separate mechanically. The Transcontinental Railroad further facilitated its journey, enabling seeds to cover vast distances effortlessly. Floating along irrigation canals and ditches, the Russian thistle extended its reach. By the turn of the 20th century, it had infiltrated California, taking advantage of the depleted sagebrush deserts. That invasion, documented as one of the fastest in U.S. history, has not been confined to only North America. The Russian thistle has also found its way to other parts of the world, including Northern Europe and South America. Despite its widespread impact, not all tumbleweeds are invasive. Some native species, like the Amaranthus albus, coexist without causing significant issues. What makes Russian thistle remarkably successful is its prolific seed production, reaching up to 2,500,000 seeds per plant. Its strategy for dispersal is equally effective, growing in a verted shape. It transforms into a tumbleweed, rolling over long distances when dried out and propelled by the wind. As a resilient plant, the Russian thistle adapts to harsh conditions. Its seeds require only temperature cues to germinate, making it less reliant on complex stimuli. Thriving in environments with minimal moisture, it's well suited to alkaline and saline soils, allowing it to grow in areas with reduced vegetation or cleared land. Yet, the tumbleweed's lack of directional control poses challenges on fence lines or structures. It can become a hazard, causing traffic accidents and accumulating against buildings. In 2014, 2 Colorado counties declared a state of emergency due to overwhelming tumbleweed infestations, closing 45 miles of roads. Beyond its physical threats, the Russian thistle contributes to the spread of wildfires. Its dry, flammable branches pose a risk as they accumulate against structures during the wind-driven journey. Additionally, the plant's ability to block water flow and harbor insects transmitting diseases add to its detrimental effects. Efforts to control the Russian thistle have included herbicides, but these pose risks to other plants and may encounter resistance from the weed. Biological control methods, including employing organisms to restrict the plant's growth, have been explored, but a viable solution remains elusive. While the Russian thistle is predominantly viewed as a pest, history reveals a surprising twist. During the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, a period emerged. By failing crops and scarce plant growth, the tumbleweed emerged as a lifeline. In its softer phase, it served as a palatable fodder for herbivores like elk, bison, and prairie dogs. Desperate times led to farmers using tumbleweeds as a substitute for traditional hay, with Kansas producing over 350,000 tons of thistle hay in 1939 alone, credited with saving the cattle industry. The tale of tumbleweed, often relegated to a background role in movies, unravels as the main antagonist in a rapid and far-reaching plant invasion. The stories serve as a poignant lesson on the intricate relationship between human activities and the natural world, prompting reflection on our role as stewards of the environment. Tumbleweed's iconic status endures, but its narrative reveals a deeper, more nuanced connection to the ecological history of the United States.